Since the passing of Vice President Saulos Klaus Chilima, the Malawian opposition has been lacking new blood. It was looking like the ballot for the 2025 presidential elections would end up being the same exact as the last two elections, with the same contenders: President Chakwera for MCP, APM for DPP, Atupele Muluzi for UDF, and a big question mark for who would take the leadership of UTM, since Michael Usi is neither here nor there. Anyways, there's a new star in Malawi's political universe, and the game just got even more interesting. If you are not up to date on what's been going on, UTM held their national convention in November 2025 and picked none other than the former governor of the Reserve Bank of Malawi, Dr. Dalitso Kabambe. Dr. Kabambe is not new to politics, and on the surface he seems quite educated and intellectual. But is he the right person to lead the country? What qualifies him for the role, and can he be trusted with the well-being and prosperity of Malawi and Malawians? We were previously charmed into thinking that speeches and a kind demeanor would save us, but as we all know, that didn't work. Does he have what it takes to undo decades of regression? We will see. In this video, we'll cover his background, technical skills, controversy, and education. I will score him based on the information that is available from my research, and we will see where he ranks on my leaderboard in comparison to APM, Atupele, and even Joyce Banda. You can find those videos linked below. Make sure to give your own ratings in the comment section as well. Alright, let's get right into Dalitso Kabambe, president of UTM and contender for the presidency of Malawi in 2025. My name is Brendan, and this is M-dubz Report. Mwadzuka bwanji, mwaswera bwanji, madzulo abwino. So, who is Dalitso Kabambe? I won't bore you with the details because we all want to get to the interesting stuff. So here are some quick facts about his background. Born on 17 November 1973, he attended Zomba Catholic Secondary School, then University of Malawi Chancellor College, graduating with a Bachelor's of Social Science degree in Economics in 1998. In 2001, he obtained a master's degree in development economics and a PhD in the same field in 2008 from Imperial College, University of London, United Kingdom. So in summary, Kabambe's academic background paints a picture of a determined individual committed to advancing his knowledge in economics and leadership. No one can fault him on any of that, and the degrees that he earned are relevant when it comes to understanding people, a country's economics, and developing policies for an African country with an international perspective. So when it comes to that, it's all well and good. Now, let's look into his professional career. The point of this section is to see if he has the relevant experience to lead. Dr. Kabambe worked as a civil servant in the Malawi Government Economic Service for a period of 19 years from 1998 and held multiple positions: Principal Economist, Chief Economist, Deputy Director of Economic Planning, Budget Director in the Ministry of Finance, Economic Planning and Development. He also served as Secretary for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation for close to 2 years. So this guy was an economist through and through. The role he held before entering politics, and his most notable role till date, was as the governor of the Reserve Bank of Malawi from 2017 to 2020 under the administration of APM. Now the question is, as the governor of the Reserve Bank of Malawi, what did he do to benefit the country?
Let's find out.
As governor, Kabambe spearheaded several economic initiatives, including measures to stabilize inflation, reduce interest rates, and maintain a stable exchange rate. His leadership received praise from some quarters for improving Malawi's economic indicators. But the question is, who takes the glory here? Kabambe or APM, who was president at that time? Or would the glory be shared between the two? However, his tenure was not without criticism. Some argue that while there were microeconomic improvements under his watch, ordinary Malawians didn't feel the impact. Poverty levels remained high and access to financial services were limited for many. If anyone who is viewing this video has examples of how they personally benefited or felt the impact of his policies, then please let us know in the comment section below. Now let's move on to his political career. After his time at the Reserve Bank ended, Dalitso Kabambe was free to join politics. As some of you may know, in roles like Governor of Reserve Bank of Malawi, the individual is supposed to be neutral, without any political affiliations. So it makes sense that when his time ended, he joined DPP and quickly rose through the ranks. He was even considered a potential candidate for the party's leadership at some point. However, in July 2024, he resigned from the DPP party, stating that after much reflection and consideration, he felt he did not belong. He later explained that the DPP's alleged culture and practice of nepotism, tribal politics, and the lack of direction led to his decision. I guess for someone who is as ambitious as he is, it would be difficult to find his voice and make his own way in a party like DPP, which already has a leader and frontman in APM. He was partyless for a short period and spent some time delivering speeches and public lectures across Malawian universities. These talks were well attended, and there were a few videos online that you can watch. The focus of these talks are the current state of Malawi's politics and the economy, and what Malawi should be focusing on to develop itself. So how did he go from DPP in 2024 to presidential candidate of UTM in the same year? Dalitso Kabambe announced his defection to UTM at a political event in Masambanjati, TH Angati in Cholo district. In his speech, Kabambe said he had decided to join UTM for the following reasons. 1. He was exercising his constitutional right on freedom of association. 2. He cited that UTM manifesto was one of the enticing factors and that the party has the best vision for this country. 3. Kabambe expressed disappointment with other parties, saying they had failed to deliver on their promises to Malawians. In that speech, he urged citizens to give UTM a chance to govern the country and assured everyone that he was joining the party as an ordinary member who would abide by rules of the party. It is said that Kabambe joined UTM with 300 members from other parties, so he was far from being an ordinary member of the party. UTM needed him and he needed them. This extraordinary member contested for the UTM presidential candidacy during the UTM convention held in November 2024, and no more than 4 months after defecting from DPP, Kabambe emerged victorious, securing a commanding win with 636 votes. Seen by many as a fresh face in the party, Kabambe's focus has been on presenting himself as a technocrat with a vision to transform Malawi's economy. His campaign messaging emphasizes economic growth, job creation, and reducing public debt. Kabambe promises to make Malawi self-reliant by leveraging his economic expertise to attract investment and manage resources effectively. Let's move on to controversies. While Kabambe's credentials are impressive, his political journey has not been without controversy. Critics have questioned his role in financial irregularities during his tenure as Reserve Bank Governor. Let's discuss some of them. First up, back in December 2021, Dalitso Kabambe faced serious accusations that he allegedly manipulated financial accounts to secure a loan from the International Monetary Fund. Next are the suspicious payments and irregular letters of credit. Kabambe was accused of greenlighting questionable payments and issuing irregular letters of credit, especially tied to the Farm Input Subsidy Program and Muli Brothers Limited. Then, there were dubious procurement practices. Allegations surfaced about contracts worth billions of kwacha being handed to companies like Mitra without proper risk checks or following procurement policies. Next, we have mismanagement of public funds. A Deloitte forensic audit exposed misuse of public money, including 9.7 billion of sketchy procurement and 27 billion in suspicious ex gratia payments. And finally, favoritism and lack of transparency. Kabambe's leadership faced criticism for favoritism in dealing with FDH Bank, which seemed to benefit significantly from central bank transactions. Kabambe maintains his innocence and investigations have been ongoing. Other controversial issues that he can't shake off include his alignment with Peter Mutharika and alleged favoritism to the urban elites. Kabambe's close ties with the DPP's old guard, especially APM, have raised concerns among those who associate the party's previous administration with corruption and economic mismanagement. He is known to be popular among professionals, college students, and urban voters, so critics argue that his policies and rhetoric often fail to resonate with rural Malawians who form the majority of the electorate. This brings us to his popularity. Is Dalitso Kabambe popular? Dalitso Kabambe's popularity as a candidate largely stems from his image as a technocrat and problem solver. Among the younger educated population, he is seen as a promising alternative to traditional politicians. However, his support base is still relatively narrow compared to other contenders like President Chakwera, APM, or even Adupele Muruzi. To gain widespread appeal, Kabambe will need to address the needs of rural communities and demonstrate that his plans will directly benefit ordinary citizens. So that is what we know of Dr. Dalitso Kabambe. And before I move on to rating him, I encourage you to rate him too. Or let us know if there are any key facts that we should all know about him in the comment section. Alright, let's rate him now.
Alright, let's go.
Kabambe's strong academic background and professional experience in economics give him a high score in this category. His ability to manage economic policy is an asset. Malawi thrived under the last president who was an economist in Bingwa Mutharika. Maybe he stands a chance in convincing Malawians that as an economist, he has the right skill to turn the country around. In this category, he gets 8 out of 10. As a newcomer to frontline politics, Kabambe lacks a proven track record of delivering political results. While his technocratic approach is appealing, it remains to be seen whether he can navigate the complexities of Malawian politics. It's not for the faint-hearted. On the other hand, those who have claimed to have long-term experience in Malawian politics have not been the most effective leaders. Maybe we need to try something new, a focus on actual policies and not the game of politics. His first task as a political leader should be uniting UTM and bringing some of the candidates that feel disgruntled from the outcome of the recent presidential nomination. For this category, he gets 5 out of 10. The unresolved allegations from his time as Reserve Bank governor weigh heavily on his reputation. However, he has not been convicted of any wrongdoing, and his supporters argue that he is being unfairly targeted. The allegations of mismanagement of funds are worrying. We are not a wealthy country in comparison to our peers and neighbors, so I hope that we can pick someone who is not looking to loot the coffers, but someone who has the brains to grow what we have. For this category, he gets 6 out of 10. Kabambe's popularity among urban elites is notable, but he has yet to gain traction in rural areas. His ability to connect with ordinary Malawians will be critical in the coming months. UTM currently does not have the stronghold to win 50+1. Kabambe may be forced to foster an alliance with other parties. The enemy of your enemy may be your friend. People like Kondwani Nankumwa, who left DPP for similar reasons and formed a new political party, PDP, might be of benefit to him. Or someone like Adupele Muruzi, who is young, appeals to the youth, and has more political experience than himself, may prove to be the assets that he needs to gain momentum. Kabambe needs to get his name out there through rallies and media exposure on TV shows and radio. People in the villages need to hear from him, and they need to understand his message and what it is that he is promising Malawians. He needs to tone down the jargon and complex terms, simplify the message, and make himself relatable. For this category, he gets 6 out of 10. So this gives Dalitso Kabambe an overall score of 6.25 out of 10.
Before you go any further, I'd like to remind you.
As we approach the 2025 elections, it's crucial to critically evaluate all the candidates and their promises. Dr. Dalitso Kabambe presents himself as a skilled economist with a vision for Malawi. However, His ability to deliver on his promises and connect with all Malawians remains uncertain. If you approve of our content, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on our upcoming content. I have been your host, Brendan from M-dubz Report. Zikomo.